All right, welcome back to another series. This is series 18. We're in Bereshith, which is Genesis. We're in chapter 29. If you've been following along, there's a lot that's been going on between the brothers, the mother, and the dad. As we're going to see as we're going on here, it's going to be a lot that's taking place. We're going to see more about sisters and siblings, how parents view that, and how certain men who want a wife, how they're treated. Depending on how you look, your size, and just your authority, your aggressiveness, people are going to treat you differently than others. Your wife as well. And we're going to see that it's going to be this is going to be a long 2 parts. So we're gonna break these up into 2 series. So after we get done with the first section, the next side is highlighted all throughout. So it's gonna be a lot of reading. So this is gonna be good. Chapter 29. We're gonna go down, start at verse 6. Again, you have to read the previous passages to see what's going on. We left out chapter 28, so you have to read that, and it's going to talk about more about what the men are going on, their importance. So when we get to that series, we'll talk about that. So we're going to start at verse 6. So he said to them, "Is he well?" And they said, "Well." And see, his daughter Rahel is coming with the sheep. That's key. All right, so we're going to skip ahead. We're going to get to the next part where it talks about women. Now, you see, this is highlighted all throughout. So it's a lot of good stuff in here. So again, you'll have to read the previous verses to see what's been talked about with the males, but we're going to continue on. Verse 9. While he was still speaking with them, Rahel came with her father's sheep, for she was a shepherdess. That's key. Now, this happened again. Remember, previous passages, they were looking for a wife. They sent the messenger and not the son. Remember that? Again, Jacob was not the chosen one from the dad. All right. Remember, Esau was the one he chose. Now, remember, he's going to go find a wife, but he's really fleeing from his brother. All right. Remember, it came with a lie. His mother made up the lie. She taught him how to act and do all that stuff, and now they're living this life that was intended for his brother from the father, but the mother chose the younger, her son, right? So we're finna get into this. Now this is the same thing that happened, but this is a different person. So it's gonna be a lot of things going on because before a messenger was sent, now he's there. All right. And and the same thing, the daughter came up to water, the men that were with him, she knew that what was in her household and things like that. So we're gonna see some of the similarities here, but this just takes a different turn. All right, verse 10. And it came to be when Jacob saw Rahel, the daughter of Laban, his mother's brother, and the sheep of Laban, his mother's brother, that Jacob went near and rolled the stone from the well's mouth and watered the flock of Laban, his mother's brother. Different role right here now, right? Remember this? Remember this age? Who's watering now? He's doing the watering. She came as a shepherdess. She's bringing the flock there. She didn't have to do nothing. He rolled the stone away. Now they getting watered. All right. That's the difference now. Some males, they have the authority. They make the woman do things, right? They just be sit back chilling. Some other men, they have to go out and do the work because the wife is not gonna, respect them more or, do it. They're gonna get up and do it, especially if they're the same size as you. And they got a bigger brother or a dad that's bigger, or they know males that's bigger that want them. That if you're their size or smaller, they're not gonna take you serious. Trust me. Verse 11, and I say that because of experience. If you find someone that is that's in there, that truly does love you and like you, it may be possible. It may be possible to find love, but most oftentimes than not, won't work out. Verse 11, and Jacob kissed Rahel and lifted up his voice and wept. All right, this kiss right here, that's important. If you look about how they used to greet people and things like that, it involved kissing. All right, so I don't know if it was a romantic kiss, if that he really wanted her, but he did something for her. Lift up his voice and wept. All right, so we're gonna see more about this as we continue reading. Verse 12. And when Jacob told Rahel that he was her father's relative and that he was Rebekah's son, she ran and told her father. All right. Verse 13. And it came to be when Laban heard the report about Jacob, his sister's son, that he ran to meet him and embraced him and kissed him and brought him to his house. Then he told Laban all these matters. All right. Remember, different scenario here now. All right. Remember the brother ran out to go see what was going on. Remember that? That was in that previous series passage. You got to go. Same thing. Now she ran into her father, and now her father is coming out to meet him. All right. It's not a brother now. Remember, it was a brother and mother in one of the series. Same situation here, but she's not watering the animals. You know, he came and did it himself. You know, she really didn't have to do nothing. All right. So let's keep going. Verse 14. And Laban said to him, "You are indeed my bone and my flesh." And he stayed with him for a new moon. And Laban said to Jacob, "Because you are my relative, should you therefore serve me for naught? Let me know what should your wages be." All right, so here, you know, he came there for something. You know, before, you know, when the woman came there was a lot of confirmations from God. Remember, there was prayer. He said, if it's for him, let her do this and do that. All right, we see right now it's just him acting. We don't see the name of God anywhere. They're speaking, they're talking. He's seen a daughter. She ran into her dad. Her dad came out to meet him. Now he know that they're related and things like that. Seeing what's going on, you know, it's his son, the younger one. So they already know there's something going on, right? They're trying to help him out from his brother. And then now he says, "Should you therefore serve me for nothing?" Not? Like, dang. You here for something. He know that your brother out to get you, so I'm here to help you. You know, that's kind of what it looks like here, right? So does Esau have some influence over this? Probably. But this is a whole different situation now. There's no praying or anything. Look, if you go back and read it, let's go. Verse 16. And Laban had two daughters. The name of the elder was Leah, and the name of the younger was Rahel. Remember, go back here. See, what do you want? What do you want? What you here for? You already know. You probably already know. All right, so you see here, you got two daughters. We already know that Rahel, he liked her. All right, so we finna go. We finna continue on. Verse 17. And Leah's eyes were weak, but Rahel was beautiful of form and beautiful of appearance. All right, so how many of you know sisters that one may think that the one is more beautiful than the other? The one may have a better body shape, and then the other one, you know, probably wear glasses, probably not doing too much, probably more nerdy, things like that. They could be twins, maybe they're not twins. But we see here, there's a big difference. One may be an athlete, one may not be an athlete. Who is he choosing? He's choosing the one that that's doing more. All right, you see that her eyes are weak. He probably, my kid's probably not gonna. I don't want my kids to come out like that. Things like he already thinking, but she's younger though, right? The older sister, we're going to see why, but her eyes were weak. Pointed that out right away. What if she had a veil on or something? What if she had her face covered and all those things? Because you see those things? Can you see someone with glasses when they got their face covered? Depending on the veil you got, maybe, but they not covered. You see that she's beautiful of form and beautiful appearance. So she may have one of those hourglass shaped bodies, not overweight and things like that. She's a separatist, so she's out there with the sheep. She's taking them out there, so she's doing a lot of walking and things like that. Rahel may not be in shape. All right, Rahel may not be in shape now. She could be at home spoiled, overweight, and things like that. So again, we see here men choose beauty and form over, you know, just a traditional body or just whatever. You know, it comes down to personality as well. So you have to take that in consideration. So if you're looking to be someone that someone's after to choose to be married to for women, you got to take care of yourself. All right. Your appearance, your form, all that stuff. All right. That's what they like. Verse 18. And Jacob loved Rahel. So he said, "Let me serve you 7 years for Rahel, your younger daughter." And Laban said, "It is better that I give her to you than I should give her to another man. Stay with me." All right. So he just made a deal where he want the younger one. He's not going after the one with the eyes that are weak. He said he want Rahel, all right? So what are you going after, man? All right, so if you going after a woman, what type of woman are you going after? You know, so again, we're gonna continue on, verse 20. So Jacob served 7 years for Rahel, and they seemed to him but a few days because of the love he had for her. Then Jacob said to Laban, "Give me my wife, for my days are completed, and let's go up here, let me go into her." And Laban gathered all the men of the place and made a feast. And it came to be in the evening that he took Leah his daughter and brought her to Jacob, and he went into her. And Laban gave his female servant Zilpah to his daughter Leah as a female servant. And in the morning it came to be that, see, it was Leah. So he said to Laban, "What is this you have done to me? Was it not for Rahel that I served you? Why then have you deceived me?" All right, so now we see we got some lines going on. All right, who's the father of liars? All right, look up that Bible verse. Now, look how he did. He wanted Yank. He thought he made a deal. He thought he made a deal here. Before it was just the mother and the brother, right? And the daughter decided on what she was gonna do. She knew she was going to a man, right? The messenger came, already set in place. Now he's there himself, making a case for himself. He's there for 7 years. They's watching him. He's thinking about her, oh, his love for her, his daughter, his younger daughter, and all these things. And he don't know the whole history behind them and the sisters and whatnot. He just chose her because she's beautiful. And he said that he went and asked him, "Give me my wife for my days." Like, you asked another man for your wife? You made a deal with him. Why you just didn't make it happen? So that we see the character of the brothers, right? If it was Esau, what would have happened? He's a hunter. He kills people, right? So he probably puts a little bit more fear in Laban than the other ones, right? And then he's fleeing his brother. All right, he agreed with his mother in fleeing him. So there was deception. He deceived his dad, right? So the same things happened. Do unto others you want done to you. Now he was deceived and he deceived his dad. So let's continue on. So we see he found out it was Leah. You deceived me. That's a key word right there. Verse 26. And Laban said, "It is not done this way in our place, to give the younger before the firstborn. Complete the week of this one, then we give you this one too. For the service which you shall serve with me still another 7 years." And Jacob did so and completed her week. Then he gave him his daughter Rahel too as wife. And Laban gave his female servant Bilhah to his daughter Rahel as a female servant. And he also went into Rahel, and he also loved Rahel more than Leah. And he served with Laban still another 7 years. So as we stop there, we see he finally got what he wanted, but it's not how he wanted it to happen. It's on Laban's terms. He said, "All right, this ain't how we do it here." You know what I'm saying? That's like Esau, right? The bigger brother, he's probably bigger, stronger, things like that. And he's coming for his wife. Can I get my wife now? Like, no, work another 7 years and then I'll give you this one too. This how we do it here. Where is he praying? Do we see any prayer here? I don't see no prayer. I just see that he made a deal with him. You want to work for 7 years? Think about that. All right. Now look, he went into Rahel too, right? So he got two women now. Remember, if you go back to previous series, remember he said he saw the matter was evil with Hagar and Sarah. Remember that, right? So now he loved Rahel more than Leah. So he loved the younger one more than Leah. He didn't want her really. So how you think her treatment is going to be? So we see if you're dealing involved with two or more women, the treatment is not going to be the same, all right? Same with the kids. Verse 31, and we have the name of God right here, saw that Leah was unloved, and he opened her womb, but Rahel was barren. And Leah conceived and bore a son, and she called his name Reuben, for she said, we have the name of God right there, has looked on my affliction, because now my husband is going to love me. All right. So we're just going to stop right here. The next series is going to help go into the next chapter as well. But as we see here, it's the difference between the women now. Now we have competition, we have jealousy, we have envy that's going to come about because she see that she was unloved by her husband. So God steps in because remember the head of man is now God, right? Because they're married now and the head of woman is man, right? So now if you go look at that Bible verse in the New Testament, one womb is open, the other is not. And as we get into the next series, we're going to get into some more details about, the the differences and how the treatment is different. All right. God bless.